Next case is Field versus Reindeer Remodeling and Willie Pittman. All right, so Mr. Samuel Fields and Mr. Fields, you're still muted. And Mr. Pittman.
Yes.
Yes,
All right,
ma'am,
so
I'm here.
Mr. Pittman, let me understand. Reindeer Remodeling is your company.
It was.
It's no longer in like it's no longer active.
No longer active.
Okay, so it's Fields versus Pittman at this point. Mr. Fields, tell me why you're here, sir. Raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
I do.
All right, you can put your hand down. All right, so Mr. Fields, tell me what's going on.
On March 1st, I contend that I went into contract with Reindeer Marlin and Mr. Pittman, and
March 1st of what year, sir?
March 1st of 2024.
Okay.
And I went into contract with Mr. Pittman to do some upgrades on my house. And we signed a contract. I think it was about 38,000 or something like that for the original contract. Once the work started, he was supposed to remove.
Let me ask you a couple questions.
Yes, ma'am.
One, did you okay, so when you said you entered into a contract, let's talk first about what the scope of the work was. What was it that Mr. Pittman's company or Mr. Pittman himself was supposed to do at your house?
They were supposed to remove the walls.
Interior?
Interior walls.
Okay. How many?
The interior walls included the walls in the kitchen and in the living room and in the formal dining room.
So
and
you
it's
were
like
basically
eating kitchen.
trying to open it up into an open plan.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
They were supposed to have create a laundry room.
Mm-hmm.
They were supposed to create a bathroom.
Mm-hmm. All on the same level?
All on the same level.
Okay.
And on another level, they were supposed to install some floors
Mm-hmm.
and the stairwell. And they were supposed to install a countertop, a countertop on the kitchen island.
Mm-hmm.
And they were supposed to install some doors with associated with those rooms. And they were supposed to do some what you call that molding, the crown molding.
Okay.
In those rooms.
All right.
And they were supposed to create some lighting, some LED lighting in the rooms, remove the old lighting and put the LED lighting in there.
Okay.
Mr.
Okay, that's the scope of the work.
That's
How
the
long
scope.
was this supposed to take?
This was supposed to take 1 month.
Okay.
But they never did complete the job.
Okay. All right. So did you pay anything at what amounts have been paid and at what intervals?
At the beginning, the agreement was to pay half of the $38,000, and I gave him approximately $18,000.
Why were we paying half for work not done yet?
Yes.
Why?
Because that's what I agreed. He said he needed the money to start. And so I gave him the $18,000.
Look at my face, Mr. Fields.
I see.
Look at my face.
Yeah. I went into trust mode. And I gave him the $18,000. And then shortly after that, he came back and said he needed more money.
course he
And
did. Had he
and
started anything at that point?
oh yeah, he had started. They came in, and the first thing I asked them to do was remove the walls, but instead of removing the walls, they covered the walls. And then he came in and told me that they were gonna he was supposed to install a countertop, but he wanted me to go pay for the countertop and so I had to go to Home Depot and get all that done myself. But that was supposed to be
Hold
on
on,
his.
Mr. Fields. Ms. Goldberg,
Yes, ma'am.
if you're gonna talk, or if somebody else is talking, could you step out of the room? Are you talking or is it the lady behind you?
It's lady behind me, baby. Lady
All
behind
right.
me.
Is she on a video court?
And it's starting the screen, right?
Is Miss Janice in there?
Okay.
We all in the same room.
I got you. But I'm
Yes,
wondering
ma'am.
if the other lady is on, who
Oh,
else is in the same
she's
room?
just rating off of,
That's behind me.
yeah.
Is-
So
Okay,
it's his computer that you're hearing her voice on.
I got that. Is this other lady on this, is she in
No.
for me or for some other judge?
She's on the random call.
Okay, ma'am, in the flower dress?
Right here.
Okay, if you're gonna be on a call, can you step out for me while I'm trying to hear them?
Hold on, please.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Field. So you paid $18,000. So how much of this 18,000? So when somebody says, I need half to start, one would assume that materials, that's a purchase of materials to get started.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay,
Uh,
so
mhm.
how much of this was materials versus labor?
I don't know. I assumed all of it was for materials. I gave him the
Did he
money.
give you a breakdown of what the materials would cost to get started? Like, so he's saying, you're asking him for all of these things.
I'll ask him for all those things. And he gave me a
Okay, we
contract.
know what sheetrock costs. We can price sheetrock. We can price the Corian quartz or whatever that you're choosing for the tabletops. We can price whatever the lights and stuff are gonna be. We can
Right.
price the flooring. All of those things that can be priced and invoiced.
That's right.
Did you all do any of that?
No, he bought me what he was going to do, and he said, "This is how much it's going to cost." And I said, "Okay." I said, "You sure?" And he said, "Yes, that's what he was going to do."
And then the next thing he asked you for was for money for,
He asked me to get money for the countertop.
okay, how much was that?
That was well over about $6,200.
What you have? Gold fleck granite? What you
No,
have?
it was quartz. It was a
Okay.
quartz counter. Well, it was not just, it was a quartz countertop for the whole kitchen.
But you said for the island. So now we expanding
No,
the scope of
it
work.
was the island and the countertops
Okay,
for the
all
kitchen.
right.
I'm sorry, I said the island, but I did say countertops. It was for
Okay.
the island and the countertops. And so it was over $6,200. So I went to Home Depot and I paid them the $6,200. And they came and they sent their own people over there to install it. So he never did do that. But that was on the contract. And so he was supposed to put flooring in one of my top bedrooms. Well, he put the flooring in, but then I told him everything needed to have the LVP flooring. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Hold on. You paid him $18,000 to get started on the job.
Right.
Then you went to Home Depot and paid $6,200 for a quartz countertop.
Right.
But Home Depot did that part of the job.
Home
And you
Depot
paid
did.
them separately.
Yeah, I paid them separately.
Okay. So that's part of the scope of work that he did not do and was
He
not.
did not do that. Right.
Okay. So what was the next thing that happened?
The next thing, he covered the wall, but I wanted them to remove the walls. When I said I wanted them to take the walls out and put it and take it completely out and put another wall in there. Instead, he covered the wall.
Mr. Fields, where's the written document where y'all went over this and wrote it down?
He has a contract.
Mr. Fields, you paying the money, but you don't have a copy of the contract?
I did have a copy of the contract, but I couldn't find it. And I gave him yeah, that's my fault. I could not look. I got other parts of the contract because he did what he called he wanted to do more work.
Okay,
So
let me ask you this. Was this a property that you lived in, or was this an investment property?
It's a property I lived in.
Okay, and you said you wanted him to tear down walls to do a demo. That would assume that we're looking at what's a load-bearing wall, what can be torn down versus what can't be torn down.
Now, when I say tear down the wall, it's not poles. It's actually sheetrock.
I get that, but okay, so let me make you understand. I come from a construction background.
Yes,
when
ma'am.
somebody says they want to tear down a wall, that means the wall no longer exists. I'm looking into the next room.
Right.
Well, not I want to change the sheetrock or I want to repair the sheetrock. I'm talking the joints, studs, everything is gone, and there's no wall there.
Well, that's what my intent was, for him to have everything removed and only the down to the studs. And
you're living in the house, and
Mm-hmm.
at some point you come in and there's no demolition done. So what happens at that point?
He told me that he was going to cover the wall. So I
how
just
he
let
gonna
it.
tell you what you paying him $18,000 already on a $30,000 contract, and he's telling you what he's gonna do?
That's what he said. He's going to cover the wall. So I just let that go at that
Why,
point.
Mr. Fields? Why are you letting that go?
Because I trusted it. I thought it looked fine. I just let it go.
Okay, so
All right.
you said the quartz work, the countertop work was done by Home Depot. What's the next thing?
Yes. The next thing was they created an arch. It was like an arch in the wall.
In an entryway, yeah.
Right, in the entryway. And they created they did cover the walls. They did and put sheetrock on the wall.
Okay, so instead of tearing down the wall, which is what the original scope of work says,
right,
they are covering the wall with sheetrock.
Right, that's what they did.
And telling you got to choose a paint color.
Right, and they were supposed to paint, and that's the other thing.
For walls that should not even have been there.
The walls shouldn't have been there. It should have been walls, but they should have put new sheetrock there and painted the walls.
Okay, see, you're confusing me. I said, when you tell me remove the walls, that means the walls are gone and I'm looking at an open room, open space.
Right.
From one room to another.
Right.
Was it your intention for them to redo the sheetrock or
right?
Okay, that's not what you said.
Okay, I'm sorry. I told them to remove the walls and repair and replace the walls. That's what it was. They were supposed to remove the walls and replace the walls.
Did they do it?
They didn't do it. They covered the walls.
Okay.
All right.
We strip the walls down and all I'm looking at is studs.
Yeah, that's what my intended, but that's not what they did.
So they just put sheetrock on top of sheetrock.
Right.
That's not right.
Okay. All right. Okay, Ms. Goldburn, I can hear you, and I shouldn't be able to. This is not
Can you
your.
hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you, Mr. Pittman, but Ms. Goldberg, this isn't her hearing yet, unless I'm mistaken, so I shouldn't hear her. Who else is talking in the room?
Oh, they back
He
there.
had said something underneath. He had said something underneath his breath like that.
Okay, let's not do that. All right, so sheetrock on top of sheetrock instead of replacing.
Right.
Okay, what's next?
All right. Next thing they were supposed to do was they were supposed to create a bathroom and a laundry room.
Okay,
Neither one of those were completed. They're supposed to install a stove that I went and purchased.
okay. When you say create a bathroom, let's stop right there. You
Mhm.
said, so for me, when you say, because this is the problem we had before, you said take away the walls, but you didn't explain you wanted them
Right.
recovered.
Replace.
So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
walk through
I
this.
got it. All right. Let me
You
explain to you about
said,
this part.
now hold on. You said you wanted a bathroom. What area of the house are we talking about?
It's a hallway, and it was one big room at
Okay,
first.
so
It
you
was one
wanted
big
that
room. So I wanted those.
subdivided
Right. And at
into
one,
a bathroom and a laundry room.
that's correct. That's
Okay,
correct.
was it already piped? Was the plumbing already there?
The plumbing was there, but it had to be moved.
Okay, so
And they it was no wash machine there at the time. And the commode was there and a sink was there, but all that had to be reconstructed.
okay, so you want them to demo that, and you have now said make this 2 rooms, one a
That's right.
bathroom and one a laundry room.
Right.
Okay,
And right
What
next to it, they made it was the pantry, and they made the pantry a little smaller, and that was intentional.
okay. Now
Mhm.
tell me what happened. What is the state of the bathroom that should have been constructed?
It was never completed.
What
The commode was moved, the sink was moved, but it was never reinstalled.
you mean the connections for the commode
No,
were
the
moved?
actual commode was moved, and the actual sink was moved, but it was never the plumbing was never put in the right place for it to be installed. Now I have pictures to show that. And also, it was the plumbing for the laundry room was not completed.
Okay. All right. So that job is still like that.
It's not like that now because I went and hired somebody else to do it.
Okay. All right. But you have pictures of how it was left.
Right.
Okay. And what was the time frame? So you said all of this was supposed
All
to
of
take.
this supposed to be done in 4 weeks. That's what she
Okay.
told me.
All right. And
hmm
so at the end of 4 weeks, your bathroom was left undone. Your
hmm
laundry room was not functional.
Laundry room was functional, and we didn't have they had taken the cabinets off, but the
Okay.
cabinets were in the garage, and they never
Okay.
were put back up.
All right. So let me go over the scope of work you gave me.
hmm
So we've already talked about the walls. And you said that sheetrock was placed up instead of the taken down to the studs and re-sheetrock. Okay.
hmm
Then you said they didn't create the laundry room, they didn't create the bathroom, so they didn't complete those.
That's right.
Okay, so your next thing is you said they were supposed to install floors in what area?
The floors were supposed to be installed in the upper bedroom, and they did complete that. Another contractor, I guess through him, it came and completed it, but
So
he
they
didn't
subbed
do
out the floors. Did
right.
you have to pay additional money for that?
I didn't have to pay the additional money for the floors, but he came back and told me that they weren't going to do the rises, the stairs going up
Yeah,
there.
right.
And I told him I wanted all of that done.
Okay.
And then he came back and told me that he needed more money to have the stairs done because I said, well, I told you I wanted everything done, and he said, well, he didn't think I needed it. He came and told me. He said, well, I know you said you wanted all of it, but I didn't think to do it. And I said, well, what do you think all means? I mean, everything.
Okay,
So,
so yeah, it's better if this is written out in the contract. That's why you have contracts. So that
hmm
when one party says, I didn't think to do it, then the other party can go and put his finger on the wording that says,
hmm
this is what we agreed to in
Well,
writing.
yeah, if he's got a contract, it's the contract. Yeah, I guarantee you he's got it. He
Oh,
should have
all right.
if he had a business. Huh?
So he failed to do the stairs like you agreed. So you say,
Well, the stairs was done, but I
uh-huh.
had to pay extra for that.
How much
So
extra?
a little over $9,000
Excuse me? To do stairs?
to put the stairs in there to cover the stair for materials and labor.
Okay, let me ask you this, because this
hmm
is where we get into the weeds.
hmm
Were there stairs there when he started the job?
Yeah, the stairs were there, but they
So
were
he didn't,
carpeted.
hold on. So
hmm
he didn't have to create stairs. He just
No,
had to remove carpet and put flooring down.
that's right.
And you paid $9,000 for that.
That's what I did. I
Mr.
sure
Fields,
did.
do you talk to anybody else and ask them, is any of this reasonable?
No, because I fully I trusted him. I just moved into the area, and he said he could do it. I
You
trusted
didn't do
him.
no comparison shopping.
No.
You just picked Mr. Pittman and said stairs. And not, because the reason I'm asking is my
hmm
husband did our stairs, and I know it did none of that. Even the materials didn't even come no close to no $9,000. I just like I'm about to
Well,
send him over to your house if you need more work done because he got some time on his hands. If you paying like
but
that.
that's what I did.
Okay, so
So
that's 9,000 in addition to the 18,000 you gave him to start
that's
the job.
right. hmm
Okay, what was next?
Well, they were supposed to do the lighting, and they did do the lighting. They did do some of the lighting, except for in the laundry room and in the bathroom.
Hmm.
And they were supposed to paint. They later painted. I think they contracted somebody to come paint it, but they wanted me to pay another $3,000 for that. So the person came and paid, and I paid the $3,000 for that.
Wait, you
And
paid. Okay, hold on.
Mhm.
So you paid. Uh, you understand what scope of work means? Like when you
Yes, ma'am.
contract with
I do.
somebody
I
and you
do.
say to them, "This is what I'm paying you to do, and
I
this is
do.
how much I'm gonna pay you to do it."
Uh-huh.
And then every time you turn around, you're paying an additional person to do what you
hmm
already took paid. Why?
Yep.
Why you keep doing that?
I can't answer that. But I did.
Okay, so this is why I'm asking you these things,
hmm
Mr. Fields, because at some point we have what we call a novation. In the
hmm
law, a contract is a meeting of the minds. And so
hmm
if you and Mr. Pittman agree to the scope of work, that's why I'm breaking
hmm
all this down, and the amount of money and the duration of time at the beginning
hmm
of the job, that's the contract.
hmm
When you start agreeing to variations in the contract, that beginning thing is no longer the contract because you're agreeing to it. So you're agreeing to novations. If he
hmm
says, I'm gonna need $9,000 more to finish your stairs, to do the
hmm
stairs. And you say, okay, well, it was in the original scope of work, but if you say I need to pay you 9,000 more dollars to do the stairs, that is what's called a novation because he's
hmm
saying, this is what I'm gonna need. You already know you've already asked for it in the original contract. But if
Right.
he offers, I need $9,000 more, and you say, okay, and you pay it, you have done a novation. You've created an entirely new contract with new terms that you're abiding by.
Okay.
So the reason I'm telling you this is because I assume that the purpose of this hearing is for you to get some money back from Mr.
Right.
Pitt.
Right.
But if you agree to these things because you went ahead and paid it, you
hmm
can't get that money back because that is a novation of the contract.
Okay. I understand that. And I do, but I want him to I pay me for not finishing the kitchen. He didn't
How much
finish the kitchen.
how much did you pay to get the kitchen finished?
I paid, in all, I gave him a little over $56,000. $56,000.
Mr. Fields, you have a wife?
Yes.
Did you talk to her about any of this? Because when it comes to spending money, we talk about stuff. We like, you sure? You sure you don't want to ask anybody else? She didn't say any of that.
Yep.
She did.
She did.
And you told her, baby, I'm the man. I know what I'm
No,
doing.
no, I told Mr. Pittman, he knows he's put me in a hard spot. And he
No,
knows it.
no, sir. You're not gonna blame Mr. Pittman for that.
I
Because
know.
at any
But
point,
that's why I didn't bring it up.
reaching in your pocket.
Uh-huh.
Okay, tell me again, because a lot of this stuff you've agreed to. You've done novations on the
Okay.
Home Depot. When you paid Home Depot, the materials and the labor, that was a novation.
Okay.
And you paid for the stairs separately. That was a novation. When you paid the painters $3,000, that was a novation. So you agreed to pay Mr. Pittman extra money. It's like every time Mr. Pittman came and put his hand out, you put money in it. I'm about to go get my HVAC. You need HVAC?
Yeah.
I'm about to get my certification for. I can do sheetrock. I know how to mud it and everything. You need anything else done? Because if you pay it like this, that's an issue. So, okay. So now the things that you had to pay to have finished that were still part of the original contract.
Right.
The bathroom, the laundry room, the kitchen.
And kitchen.
How much did you pay someone else to finish those amounts?
I paid them a total of $25,000.
So in addition to putting $54,000 in Mr. Pittman's pocket, you then also paid an additional $25,000. You could have bought a house for this. $25,000.
And I gave him $25,000, and that
Okay,
was
who did you have finish the work?
I had two contractors. One was a past construction company, and the other one was what's the name of it? Max Construction Company. And they came in and they finished the work on the crown molding, and they completed. It was something else he was supposed to do. He was supposed to do the fireplace. I'm sorry, he's supposed to finish the fireplace on there. So they took the fireplace out, but they never did put the fireplace back. So the fireplace was left undone. And so that was another thing they didn't do.
Okay.
And so the fireplace, the kitchen, where they're supposed to put the stove and the dishwasher and all that, none of that was completed.
Okay. Do you
The
have
laundry room? I'm sorry. The laundry room.
I was just going to ask if you have invoices from the other companies that you paid to get the work done that should have been done under Mr. Pitt.
I do. I don't have it with me now, but I
Okay,
do have that.
Why would you come to trial and not have the?
Because I didn't know that they would be a factor in it. But I do have.
Fields, this is a trial. You're asking me to award you money that you paid because you're saying that the work wasn't done and you had to have somebody else do it. What did you think I would be asking you for? You don't have your contract with Mr. Pittman. You don't have the invoices or paid amounts that you paid to other contractors to finish the amounts. How you come to court and it's your case to present and you don't have any evidence?
Well, I do have something, and I do have some of the contracts I paid him.
Some of the what you paid him?
I have the checks. I have the
I don't doubt that you paid him. The problem is what you're asking me for is the difference between the work he should have done and the work you had to pay somebody else to do. That if you paid somebody else to finish the job, that's the value of what you're asking me for.
Right.
all of those other things where you say, well, I'm gonna give you some extra money. You let so and so come in here and do this work. I'm gonna pay them this extra money. That was you
Mm-hmm.
creating a novation of the contract. So you created a whole new side contract. You didn't hold him to the terms of the original agreement saying, you
Right.
agreed to do this. I'm not paying anybody else to do this. You need to
That's
get
right.
this done.
That's right.
You
And
just kept
I do.
giving out money.
And you're right.
I know, and like I said, I've been doing this for 9 years and I got a construction background. So
Yeah.
I'm clear on what's supposed to happen. I don't understand how people keep doing this though, just throwing money away instead of, if you went to get tires on your car, you would say, okay, I need 4 tires. Okay, let me call a couple of places and see if they have the particular tire I need and how much it's going to cost me.
Mhm.
I wouldn't just go to the first place that's got tires. But this person comes into your house and you say, okay, I need you to do the work. And at the first sign that they're not doing the work, you just give them more money.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't have any invoices from the other people who did the work.
No, not with me.
Why not? Okay, you at your house. Presumably, why would you
Well,
have that?
I'm not at my house. I'm actually in Orlando, Florida. And when they said this was gonna be virtual, you know, I didn't know I was gonna have to present their information also. But
You don't even have the original contract. This is what I'm saying.
mhm,
You are wholly unprepared.
yeah.
Mr. Pittman, tell me what's going on. Raise your right
Yeah,
hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
yes.
All right. He says you didn't finish. You can put your hand down. He says you didn't finish the work and you used subs that he had to pay separately. What's going on?
Okay,
You can put your hand down, sir.
everything that he said is absolutely wrong.
Okay.
The thing that it was, his house, when they had they ropes, these whole things all over the wall. The whole back wall was rough all the way down. And he didn't like the way it was. It was nice and beautiful. So we said we were going to skim it at first.
Okay. So
To
what
make
you're
the
saying
walls
is he had some kind of treatment on the walls that made them
rough
like
all the way
popcorn seeds.
around. Yeah, it was
Okay.
decorated
So
all the way around.
he wanted you to take the sheetrock down, re-sheetrock
No,
it, and
no,
paint them.
no.
That's what he's saying.
That's what he said.
What does the contract say?
The contract said we was going to skim the wall and take the popcorn out of the ceiling. I got
Okay.
it right here.
That's right.
Read to me what what it says.
Show it.
All right. And the reason we went there to look at it is to remove.
No, Mr. Pittman.
No.
Yeah.
I don't want you to tell me what you went to look at it. Somebody's got to give me something in writing that y'all met at the time and y'all agreed to something. So tell me
Right.
what the paperwork says.
This is what I said.
Okay,
Right.
read it to me.
Is there remove decorated ropes off the cabinets and remove backsplash and repair?
That's the kitchen.
That's the kitchen. And the wall was to be skimmed to make them smooth all the way around.
No. He needs to show that.
Okay.
Because it says replace and remove.
Hold on, Mr. Fields. You can't tell me what it says because you don't have a
Okay. All
copy
right.
of it.
I know it. I know what it says. But go
Oh,
ahead.
that would be helpful if you had a copy.
I wish I
Um,
did.
Mr. Pittman, hold the thing up to the screen and let's see if I can read it.
The whole thing.
It's not, hold on, Mr. Fields.
Okay.
You can't be a shot caller because you could have had this yourself.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, I put it all, bring it a little closer. Yeah, I can't read that. Hold on a second. Hold on just a second. Just hold it like that. Hold it up. I can read it now. It says, remove popcorn from ceiling, take out sink, hold it over a little bit to your left. There you go. It's right there. Stop. Okay, so what I'm seeing, hold on a second. Don't do anything yet. Spotlight. Okay. Kitchen cabinet work. Countertop removal and replace. Remove all rope designs on all cabinets. Remove backsplash and replace. Remove all walls in kitchen. Replace all walls in kitchen, living room, dining room, and laundry room. Remove popcorn from ceilings. Take out sink. Take out toilet to reframe laundry and hallway. Reroute washer plumbing and dryer electrical connections. Remove fireplace hurts and replace with a new smokeless fireplace. Close in one bookcase to make a closet. Repair flooring. Okay, yeah, Mr. Pittman, it does not say what you said. It says replace the walls, not skim.
That's right.
The reason,
Okay, Mr. Fields, I done heard from you now. Go ahead and mute
Okay.
because
I,
you had your chance to show me the contract.
Right.
Okay, so Mr. Pittman, why are you telling me the wrong thing? That's not what y'all agreed to.
it wasn't what the wall that he was talking about.
Mr. Pittman, come on now.
Yeah.
I've been dealing with construction a long time. Yeah, I know it would take longer to remove all of that and replace it with new sheetrock. You decided you were just gonna scrape it off and or sheetrock over it. That's not what the contract says, though. It says replace the walls.
This is one wall that's in the kitchen.
No,
That-
it said
The
no.
wall,
No.
What you read was what he said about how many walls. So it said replace the walls, and it said replace the walls in kitchen, living room, dining room. That's on the contract, sir. So tell me why it wasn't done. Mr. Pittman, you do not want to be that person that people always talk about contractors are bad.
no,
So tell me why that work wasn't done.
the work was done.
What
Because,
was done, sir?
let me,
Did you take the
Can I show you the
walls down to the studs?
excuse me?
Did you take the walls down to the studs? Did you remove the sheetrock and expose the studs?
The wall that he wanted was taken out was in the kitchen area. This is the wall in the kitchen area that he wanted taken out to make an opening so his wife could be in the kitchen and look in through from the kitchen to the living room.
Okay,
And
where on the
That's not-
contract does it say skim the walls, Mr. Pittman?
we told him that at first he said about
Oh, no, Mr. Pittman, you
Mm-mm.
still not answering my questions. First question I asked you was, tell me did you take it down to the studs? You still haven't told me that. The second
No, we
question
didn't
I
take it
asked you
down.
is, huh?
We did take it all down to the stub because it'll cost more money than what
Okay, but
the
he's
original
paying,
contract.
obviously, he got money. If he said that's what he wanted, then that's what he wanted.
Our agreement
Did you
was
underbid the job?
$36,000
You what?
for our $36,000.
That's what you told him you would do the work for.
But I told him what to do to work and
Okay,
or
Mr. Pittman,
yeah.
okay. First of all, both of y'all are driving me crazy. This is the problem because there was no clear meeting of the minds in the original contract. Mr. Pittman was going to do one thing, Mr. Fields wanted another thing done, and every time they talked, y'all were talking past each other like this. Mr. Pittman, in his contract and knowledge, said, well, I'm not going to take down them walls. I might as well just throw another thing of sheetrock over there or scrape them down. That's just going to be cheaper based on what I quoted him for. So that's where he was. Mr. Fields is thinking he's going to tear them down to the studs so you can see through the walls. And then that's what Mr. Fields said. Then he's going to put up new sheetrock and paint. So y'all didn't understand each other from the beginning. It's amazing anything got done. Second of all, every time y'all talk, you threw in another sub or somebody else had to get paid, and he's handing out money to subs that weren't a part of the contract. So there's no contract for the court to decide. There's no way I can come down on one issue or the other because y'all never had a meeting of the minds. A contract consists of a meeting of the minds between both parties. Offer, meaning I'm offering to do this job for this amount of money in this length of time using these materials, all the specifics. Then acceptance. I'm going to do the job and I'm going to be able to
Hello? I can't hear. We've lost some type of connection. I can't hear.
Okay, so
Oh.
yeah, y'all never had, in order for me to decide on a contract, if somebody breached a contract, there actually has to be a contract. In this case, y'all from the beginning did not have a meeting of the minds. So
But
there
we
was
had
never,
But Judge, we had a contract. The contract he has
no,
is what,
Mr. Fields, just because you wrote something down doesn't mean y'all understood it.
and we
Neither
signed
one
it.
of y'all was working from the same, even what's on the paper. Neither one of y'all were working from the same piece of paper.
No, we were working from the same. I told
We
him
kept
what we
changing
had on
it.
that contract is what I wanted, but that's not what he delivered.
Mr. Fields, that's not what you paid for either. You paid for different stuff. He was
Yeah,
supposed to,
but those additional things. Yeah,
I did not, sir.
but he never did replace the walls.
Okay, I'll give
He
you
covered
that.
the walls, and he never did finish the
Okay,
kitchen.
this is
He
the
never
other
did
part,
finish the back.
Mr. Fields.
Go ahead.
This is the other part.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any way of knowing the value of each part of your job because y'all didn't cost it out. And that's what I'm saying. Mr. Pittman knows you can cost out a job. You can cost
Mm-hmm.
it out based on what the labor is. You can cost it out based on what the materials are going to cost you. When you make certain choices, okay, I'm choosing quartz. Okay, so this amount of quartz is going to cost you this amount of money, especially if you choose this particular one. Part of coming to an agreement in the job is I'm picking this type of quartz. This type of quartz costs this amount of money per square footage. We're going to cost that into the job, and then I know what labor is. Y'all didn't even cost out the job. He had a list of things on a piece of paper, and he said, give me $36,000.
And that's what I assumed he knew what he was doing. He's
See,
the
but you can't,
contractor.
Mr.
Mhm.
Fields, you can't just throw thousands of dollars down the field and say, I assumed he knew what he was doing. Did you check any of his work before? Did you see any of his work for anybody else?
No,
Did you find out if he was rated with the Better Business Bureau?
no,
Did you determine if he had ever done this work before, ever in life?
no.
Okay, so what were you trusting?
He told me, and he seemed to be an honest person. Right now, he's trying to lie his way through it, but he seemed to be an honest person, and so I took him on it. And I should have listened to my wife and not deal with it. But
I knew in there somewhere was a wife who told you the right thing.
mm-hmm,
Y'all don't listen to us. I knew somewhere in there was a
mm-hmm,
wife who told you the exact right thing to do, and you didn't
right,
listen. And you
yeah.
know what, Mr.
But
Fields?
I'm disappointed in him more right now because I know
And
he's not telling the truth. He knows it.
unfortunately, Mr. Fields, the disappointment is going to be about where we stand on this. Because when I say there was no meeting of the minds, there was not a meeting of the minds in this case. Because if there was a meeting of the minds at the point where he didn't take those walls, let's assume that was the first thing to be done.
Mm-hmm.
At the point where he didn't take those walls down to the studs, then you didn't stop him and say, hey, this is what the contract says. You didn't take the walls down to the studs. We need to stop right here and look at what the contract says, or else you will be in breach of contract. You know what you did? You said, okay, I'm gonna just go with it.
Mm-hmm.
That was a novation.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying to you is at every point that you could have enforced a contract, you didn't.
Not every point.
At every point, that first point where he didn't take those walls down to the stud and you understood that that was what the scope of the work was, you let it go. I just accepted it. Mr. Fields, what'd you do for a job, if you don't mind me?
Well, right now I don't do anything for a job. I'm retired.
I
And
figured you were retired. What did you do before?
I was in the military for 24 years. I worked as a government IT professional for another
Okay.
10 years.
All right. So in the government, you familiar with procurement?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So the government has the benefit of paying for stuff because they have preferred vendors and things. But they basically going to do an RFP. They're going to list it out and they're going to say
Right.
who can give me the product I want for the right amount of money and make sure the job gets done, right?
Right.
Okay. You spent money without doing due diligence. You didn't do an RFP. You didn't find out whether he could do the work. You just decided Mr. Pittman drove by, you waved him down and said, hey, I got a good $75,000, $80,000 in my pocket that I'm dying to get some work done. Come in and get started. I don't have a contract for which I can make a determination because all of the terms are uncertain. Y'all never got clear on terms. You never agreed fully on the scope of the work. You never agreed fully on what would be paid, when would be paid, what would be done in what frame of time. I'm going to do all of these things in 4 weeks instead of, okay, the walls are going to be done in a week. I'm going to do demolition by the 3rd day, on the 5th day. All of those specifics that a contract requires, y'all don't have any of them. And then every time he would have breached some portion of what y'all did have, you let it go and said, okay, I'm okay with it. And I'm gonna keep paying you money. I'm gonna pay you more money. So at this point, the court cannot rule in your favor because there was no contract. There was no meeting of the minds as to the terms and conditions between the two of you for the work that was supposed to be done. So at this point, I find in favor of the defendant, Mr. Pittman, not because he did it right or because he didn't breach. It was because there was no contract to breach. Y'all were never on the same page.
I just know he's
okay. Hold on, but Mr. Pittman,
Yes.
you've been working a long time, and if you've been working in this field, you know that this was not reflective of what you should be doing.
True.
You know better. My grandfather was one of the best general contractors I've ever seen. And when I tell you, there's still houses standing where people proudly display his work. It's all about your name and reputation, sir.
Understand.
It is all about your name and reputation. All right. So at this case, at this time, the court finds in favor of the defendant because there was no contract for which a meeting of the minds ever occurred. So there's nothing for the court to decide on. All right.
Okay.
And Mr. Fields, please next time do some comparison shopping and listen to your wife.
I just know I want him to know he's a bona fide liar. And
Okay.
he knows it.
Well, I'm sure he got out of it what he needed. Unfortunately, that was to your detriment. But one thing I want to point out is, and this is for everybody, when you make a bargain, make sure you're clear on the terms of the bargain because nobody can take advantage of you unless you let them. Mr. Pittman could ask you for additional funds, but you paid him. And you never said, nope, not going to do it. No other dime is coming out of my pocket until you do what you said you should have done. You could have stopped at any point, Mr. Fields, but you kept throwing money at the problem.
I did, and they stopped coming. So I stopped coming to work.
Then
And
you
he knows
sued him.
that. He knows that. And I did.
Okay,
I
but
did.
you did it after you were $54,000 to the
Right.
in on a allegedly $36,000 contract. Okay, so that's what I'm saying to you is the courts can't fix everything. There has to be something for us to fix. All right?
Okay,
Okay.
Your Honor, thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right, last case is in town.